It's the Anthony on Air podcast, the only podcast where it matters not if the host is wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row. That would be me.
Very good.
Frankie C is here as well. I just realized I wore this shirt yesterday. I haven't showered or changed yet. Or
dirty bastard, you. To be fair, I was wearing the same shirt as yesterday up until about 10 minutes ago. So.
But you actually did the effort to change for this podcast. You made that effort.
I did. I made a conscious effort to change it up. Even though I wasn't on the podcast yesterday.
That's true.
I still changed. I showered and changed.
Whereas I was like, nah, screw it.
Whatever.
Casual celebrity encounters is trending right now, and I'm not entirely surprised because the world is just a big ball of depression and really sad, serious topics. So the fun, light stuff is not plentiful, but I do like this topic. I do like the topic of casual celebrity encounters, and the one that is trending right now. And there was a few that was kind of popping up in and around, but the one that is trending right now is Diane Keaton. Apparently,
how is anybody running into celebrities? I mean, we're supposed to be locked up, aren't we?
Well, no, not right now, but like, have you ever run into celebrities?
Oh, okay.
And Diane Keaton apparently is a social butterfly because there are a ton of people that are like, oh yeah, I saw her at the grocery store, or we got coffee together, or all this kinds of stuff.
I have never run into Diane Keaton.
Are you sure?
I have run into a few people. Maybe I have, and she's just that good an actress. I don't know.
I feel like Diane Keaton is super nice.
She has to be. She's nice in everything.
Yeah, right? Like, she always plays nice. Like, I don't see her being
I'm trying to think of her as a villain.
Like, almost
never. Was she
never
ever a villain in anything?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Not that I could think of. She's always the mom or the grandmother.
Yeah.
She's never anything mean. I think she was like a bank robber in one thing, but we were rooting for her. She was one of the good guys.
She was probably like the polite bank robber, though, in that scenario.
Had to be. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Diane Keaton.
Yeah, like even in the First Wives Club, where all the women, I guess, were supposed to come off as like a problem because they wanted a divorce or a happy marriage. Even in that scenario, she was the nicest one out of all of them.
Diane Keaton is never the problem. If you think she is, then you're the problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. And by the way, First Wives Club was a damn good movie. Wasn't it good?
I did not see that.
Oh my God, dude.
Is that another one I should throw on the list?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like greatest films of all time, but it's a great movie. Sarah Jessica Parker. You love Sarah Jessica Parker too, don't you?
No.
No? I thought you were
Where'd
like...
you get that?
Who am I thinking of that's like obsessed with Sarah Jessica Parker?
Not me.
Oh, I don't know. Well, she's really good. She's a young Sarah Jessica Parker in that too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I can't stand Sex and the City.
Really?
Oh.
Wait, the show
It
or...
annoys the hell out of me. Either one. The city's just a dirty place anyway.
This all started trending because somebody wrote, now more than ever, we should share our most mundane celebrity encounters. For example, in 2002, I saw Diane Keaton in The Gap, and that's literally how this started trending.
Diane Keaton shopping at The Gap.
How about that? See, that's a down-to-earth person right there, shopping at The Gap.
I wouldn't have called that. That's cool.
Yeah. I saw Diane Keaton leaving Starbucks in Barstow. That was it. Like, that's all. Like, some of these are just...
All right.
On a playground in L.A., my 2-year-old son, now 18, followed Diane Keaton around for about an hour. I was so afraid that she thought I was stalking her. I swear my son just wanted to be where she was for some reason.
Because she's just a ray of light in an otherwise bleak world.
I feel like Diane Keaton is a national treasure as much as Betty White, but we treat Betty White with a higher regard because she's older.
Maybe.
Not a fair statement.
But, I mean, Betty White, classic. You know, she's just been around forever. And she was on some real classic stuff. I think Diane Keaton, too. But TV, TV and movies. Diane Keaton, just movies.
Yeah. One person wrote, I met Diane Keaton in line for caffeine at our local movie theater. She was going to see Far from the Mating Cow. We chatted a bit. I haven't seen her movies, so I didn't recognize her in the moment. She was just a really kind woman.
Haven't seen her. You haven't seen one Diane Keaton movie?
Yeah, this is according to Casey McKinnon. I don't know who Casey is. She's got a blue check,
All
though.
right.
She must be somebody.
It's not Kate McKinnon, is it?
No, she's an actor herself.
And you haven't seen one Diane Keaton movie. Get out there and see at least one.
Yeah, I mean, how could you be an actor and not study Diane Keaton's work? I mean, come on. That's crazy
Even
talk.
if I mean, she's not the main character. You got to get her, like Father of the Bride, the voice of reason in that movie.
Yes, that's right. Godfather the
She's
Bride's a
good.
good movie. I just want to
Godfather.
I just want to cuddle up and watch good old school feel good movies like Father of the Bride. I just want to watch Nancy Meyer movies all weekend.
Just turn on like Hallmark Channel or what's that other one? Something like the AMC or those old
Lifetime?
movies. Lifetime, that's it.
Yeah.
They're all there. I think there's one of those channels is doing Christmas stuff too,
Yeah, they are.
because time doesn't really matter anymore.
Time does not matter whatsoever. It's funny
So have
though.
you had a casual
Ye-
encounter?
Yeah, I met. It's funny the last one that she didn't know who she was. I met Blake Lively and had no idea it was Blake Lively. Had no idea who Blake Lively was.
So you met how'd you run into her?
I'm in the city. I'm at my uncle's house, right? I'm at his apartment, and he lives right by the West Side Highway. So my wife and I, Dee, we go off for like a walk because they have beautiful parks there. It's like right on the water. It's like amazing. So we're walking around, and here's this young woman with this dog. It was this little tiny. It was like this big. It was like the size of a person's head, maybe smaller. And it was this brown curly hair, and I still don't know what type of dog it is to this day. It's the most interesting dog I've ever seen, and like like I'll just talk to anybody for whatever reason, especially like I was in such a good mood. Like we're walking around, it's a beautiful like spring day. We're looking at the water. We're looking at Jersey. So she's like playing with her dog on the grass, and I'm like, that is such an interesting dog. I'm like, what kind of dog is that? And she told me, and I was like, where did you get a dog like that? I'm just like, I had no idea. And I was like, all right, well, have a good day, walk off. And then Dee's like, I think she's like a celebrity. And I'm like, no.
Was this before she was like in big stuff?
She was no, apparently she was very recognizable. And
Oh, you're
but
just
but
oblivious.
Dee didn't know who it was. She like had like it was kind of I guess in the beginning of her. I still don't even know what Blake Lively does. She was married to Ryan Reynolds, right? Or dated him?
She is currently married and they
Oh,
have kids, but she's in a lot of movies. I mean,
no
do you
idea.
know who she is?
No, I mean I know she's an actress now because she looked her up afterwards and she was like, yeah, and she was in something that was big at the time. And then we went back to my uncle's and I said, apparently we just met Blake Lively, and everybody there like lost their minds. They were like,
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff, dude. She's
yeah,
in what's it called? Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, which is where they met.
yeah.
She's in, let's see, she's had her own, what is that? The one with the shark? She's stuck on a little island and there's a shark circling her.
I
forget the
get
name
it.
of
I'm an idiot. I get it. You
Yeah,
don't.
you're a tool. You should have recognized her. She's A-list.
Her dog was more interesting than her, though. That was the point of the story.
That is the definition of a casual encounter with a
Yeah,
celebrity.
I should tweet. I'm gonna tweet that. And then but here's the funny part about it. Dee knew who it was. We were only able to confirm it after she Googled it and somehow found a paparazzi shot with the dog. That was the only reason why we
How do
knew.
you even go? What do you type in?
I don't even know because she was like, I feel like she's and it was like the kind of thing where Dee thought about it like 2 minutes after we walked away. She's like, I think she might be an actress or something. And I was like, really?
Hey, that's really dumb of you.
Yeah. And the fun part about that for me though was, they always kind of have their guard up. And I wonder what she must have been thinking, like, oh, here come people to talk to me. And then I'm just like asking about the dog. And I'm like, okay, have a good day. And
I wonder if that took her down a notch a little bit, where she walked away was like, did that guy know who I was? I don't think so. But she's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
You messed up that one.
You ever have,
Or not. You probably did a good thing.
maybe
I feel more human.
Maybe she felt, yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I don't have an encounter where I actually interacted with the people, but I have, where you see them doing what, you just see them in the street or doing stuff.
Yeah.
I walked by, what's that? Not Cheesecake Factory, but the cheesecake place in New York,
Juniors?
Junior's, and what's his name was in there? That old comedian. Oh, this is gonna kill me now.
Shut
What the
up.
heck is his name?
I swear to God, I have the same. Are you serious? Jackie Mason?
Were we together? We may have been together.
No.
Jackie Mason in the
Are you
city,
for real?
sitting at a table, yeah, in the Cheesecake Factory as we
In the
walked
one
by
in
outside.
the one in Times Square?
Probably. I think we may have been together.
No, we weren't together. No, we weren't. Because my story is I got tickets for my parents to go see Tony Bennett in the city. They didn't know it. I was working at CBS FM at the time. And I said to them, I go, come on into the city. They're doing this thing at work where, it's like bring your parents to work to show them around. They weren't doing that. I just needed to get them to like dress up nice and come into the city. And I surprised them with tickets to Tony. I'm like, they're doing this whole thing. It'll be like 3 hours. Like, come. And so they were all excited. So they came into the city. And I was like, I thought it was a dinner thing. It's not. Let's go eat first. And then I was like, let's just go downstairs. Because they wound up being late. So we didn't have time to go where I wanted to take them. So we just went to Junior's. And we sat like 3 tables away from Jackie Mason the whole entire time.
That's a different encounter because I didn't go into the place. I just walked by and he was seated outside on one of the tables. I was like, that's Jackie Mason. He's just eating whatever the hell he was eating. That's just a weird thing. A guy loves his cheesecake place.
Jackie Mason loves Junior's cheesecake, I guess.
Junior's cheesecake. He's a big fan. Who knows? Let's see. I saw John Mayer. Just walked by him.
Really?
He's really tall. He's like 6.5 feet or something. He just walked right by me. I was like, yeah. I didn't realize it until I was 10 feet past him. I was like, John Mayer. And you're probably not going to know who this is, but Karen Allen.
Sounds familiar. Comic.
No. Actress.
Okay.
She was in Indiana Jones and the first one. The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
She's the woman.
Yes.
In that. She's in Scrooged.
Right. Super. Right. I know her from Scrooge. She's Bill Murray's love interest in Scrooged. Yeah.
Right. Saw her in Times Square. There's just a ton of people walking. You know how the crowds go right by each other. And she just walked right by me and I went, Karen Allen. It's so cool. I don't know. All right. There she goes. It's nice living in the city, living near the city and going through, and you just randomly see these people.
Yeah, I was in a coffee pastry shop in Amagansett, and I saw Liev Schreiber, and that was a tough one to pass on because I just wanted to be like, dude, like everything you do is awesome, and you're the voice. Can you do the HBO voice for me? Like I just wanted to have that moment, but he was with somebody.
And my voicemail message, please, and everything else.
Yeah. I always love more than anything just to say to these guys, like, hey, I admire your work. Like, I don't ask for selfies. I was like, if I have a chance to poke it in and be like, hey, I think it's, appreciate the work.
It's awkward because you feel like,
yeah,
now you're just one of the masses that just annoy the shit out of them.
But that one was super. I had the same thing with Alec Baldwin once, but that one was super awkward because, we were like there was like 10 people in there and everybody was fully aware that it was Liam. We're all just standing there in silence.
Like, what do you do? How awkward he has to feel too. That poor, everybody goes, oh, these actors, they could take it, but like everywhere they go.
I know it's everywhere.
It's always a thing.
Yeah, that was my thing with Alec Baldwin. The same thing. I was at a place picking up a sandwich and he was there picking up like trays of food for something, a party or whatever, and I didn't say anything to him. Even though I wanted to be like, just admire your work and whatever. And then I wound up doing a recording session with him like 4 weeks later. And I remember being like,
to bring it up,
I was going to be like, hey, you remember me from the sandwich shop?
No, you should have said, so Alec, what were all those trays for? What were you celebrating?
Where are you going? And what's your address right now? Any final thoughts, Frankie C?
Final thoughts. If you see celebrities out there, be nice. You just courteous as you can, respect their space. I remember my brother, Millhouse, saw, and then his name just went right out of my head, but Paulie from Rocky.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I saw him out, I think in the Hamptons or somewhere, and people were, saying hi, whatever, but he called him Mr., and his last name, which escapes me right now.
Burt Young.
Burt Young. So he goes, hey, Mr. Young, I love your work. And that's when Burt Young went and like shook his hand. Oh, thanks a lot. So he kind of like he liked the respect, I guess, that my brother was giving him.
Yeah.
So that was good. Everybody was like, Burt, Paulie, and he was like, Mr. Young, great, I like your work. And he was like, oh, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
And he came over for that. That's really nice. That's really nice. We didn't get a chance to talk about the fact that I think Ellen is not a nice person. Maybe we'll say that for another episode.
Ellen DeGeneres?
I always thought Ellen was nice. Then there's a couple of things. I got some evidence. Got some things pop up. You know what's weird? They all happened within like 2 or 3 weeks of each other. It was like, oh, people are starting to talk about how nasty Ellen is. Well, then here's my little story.
Well, before we'll save it for next time. But bearing in mind that everybody can't.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit there.
There for a second.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I was gonna say everybody can't be 100% nice 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So you got to cut them slack a little bit. So before you present your evidence next time, you got to keep that in mind.
I'm gonna call out Dan from Long Island, the brewing company, the beer company, hates Paul McCartney because somebody he knows, Paul was like nasty to him once, and I'm like. Every Paul McCartney I've heard, out of 50 Paul McCartney stories I've heard, that's the only negative one I've ever heard.
Exactly. You can't. You caught him on a bad day. And they're always in the spotlight.
Yeah,
you gotta give a little slack.
He won't let it go though. He won't let it go, and I'm like, he can't. And by the way, and Paul called into the EHM, the old station I worked at, just like to be nice, just like it didn't have to do it. Like a Beatle doesn't have to call a local radio station, and he did it.
Beatle don't have to do shit.
And that is super, super nice. Like, I mean, you can't argue with how nice that is. So,
hey, everybody has a bad day. You got to cut them a little slack.
But keeping that in mind, I got some Ellen things, and I'm kind of like, all right. So
next time
we get into it. That is Frankie C. I've been wearing the same shirt since yesterday this entire time. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate and review. Details and info on everything we're doing up at anthonyonair.com. Thanks so much for listening or watching. Share and like this video if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe.